Hello, and thank you for joining me today on the Random Access Show. Today is going to be an interesting episode where we will be talking about the coolest tech released at Computex, which included some really exciting tech, and as always, the latest in tech news. There's a lot to talk about today, so sit tight and enjoy. I'm Lampanopoulos, and you're tuned into the Random Access Show. Thank you for joining me today on the Random Access Show. Today's going to be a really exciting episode because Computex 2022 just finished a few days ago, and we saw a lot, especially in the gaming space. So let's get straight into it. Our main player for today was AMD, and as always, they kicked off the Computex Conference, which is tradition if you didn't know that. And yeah, man, did they have a great keynote. They revealed a bit more about their Zen 4 processors, and there's a bit more with their AMD Advantage, which we'll talk about in a bit. But first, let's go with their Zen 4 processors. So obviously they were really we got information about those last year earlier this year at CES, which was really cool. We got all the info, but now we know everything about them. We know so much stuff, including some early specifications. So first up, they will be based on the efficient 5nm process node by TSMC, which is really exciting because it brings more power efficiency, better heating, and obviously more transistors packed into that one CPU, which is brings us more performance. And so I'm really excited about that. They will be they are obviously, and that's one of the things, AMD is further ahead than Intel in process nodes. They are at 5nm process nodes. Intel is at 10nm. I mean, that's pretty bad compared to AMD, which I think that gives AMD a big advantage over Intel because of their process node advantage. 5nm is set to be very efficient, very power efficient, and very good with their cooling, which will be really good for AMD. Hopefully they can get back from their loss when Intel released their 12th gen platform. So Zen 4 also set to bring a lot more L2 cache, which is really exciting as well. It's like the CPU's memory space, so it's set to bring a lot more of that, which I'm really excited about, and a lot of people are, because obviously the more cache there is, the more memory the CPU can have, and so AMD is set to have a lot more of that in their Zen 4 series. Which that's going to be really cool. That's going to be really exciting. Big thing, they are going to have higher clock speeds, way higher clock speeds than Ryzen 5000 series, which obviously we expected an advantage over the Ryzen 5000 series, but the fact that there are higher clock speeds, that's obviously really good, especially because it means more performance, more speed, which is obvious. Look, I think that's what everyone wants in their CPU. I do, and I think if you don't, then they are a bit weird. But higher clock speeds equals better performance, which is really good, and so hopefully AMD can regain their position in the computing market. So higher clock speeds, amazing. We haven't got the exact specifications for these things yet. Obviously they're not going to do that until they actually release their products, but hopefully we get some pretty high clock speeds over the 5.2 gigahertz mark, maybe hopefully. One big thing, they're said to have a 15% gain over the 5000 series in single threaded performance. 15% is quite a lot, and so that's going to be really cool because it means that there's going to be a lot more performance obviously in them, especially single threaded, and that's the really important stuff. 15%. I mean, look, we expected for them to have a big performance gain, but 15%, that's just in single threaded performance. Who knows, hyper threading performance, multi-core, all of that sort of stuff. We don't know the exact details of that quite just yet, so that's really exciting. Hopefully this is, like I said, this is how AMD regains their position over Intel. Yes, I'm really excited about that. Actually, I'm getting really cool. This is getting really cool. They're set to be released in the third quarter of this year, so watch out. In the next few months. Obviously, then they'll release some more CPUs a bit later on, Q4, maybe next year, at the very beginning of next year. But I think they'll all be released this year, hopefully. So it's way closer than we expected, and it's a bit earlier than when Intel is set to release their 13th generation core processors. So that's good. AMD gets first in the market, and that gives them a performance gain, a market gain over Intel, because everyone's going to be rushing to get AMD's products. So hopefully they do well. This could just be a big hype, and then it turns out there's nothing great about them. But I think we're set to see some really good stuff in these new products. One big thing that AMD released was their Mendocino processors. So this is getting AMD into the real low end of processors. It's set to compete with the Celerons, the Pentiums, and the i3s, which AMD isn't really in that market right now. I mean, they have their Ryzen 3s, but they still offer better performance compared to the i3s. And now this is for the really low budget people and really low budget systems who just basically need a CPU. They don't need any real performance in it. If you can run Microsoft Word, that's basically all they want. And so that is, AMD is trying to cover all ranges of the market right now. So that is going to be pretty cool. I mean, seeing them go into the low end of the market and the really, really high end. Especially with their workstation CPUs and stuff like that. So they're covering all aspects for absolutely everyone. They are set to have a bit better performance than the Celeron i3 and Pentiums, because there's no point in having worse performance. So hopefully we see a few more lower end systems coming into the market, with their Mendocinos. We are not too sure about those just yet. We didn't get as much information about those that we did about the Zen 4 processors. We do know that they are set to be Zen 2 based. That's one thing that we did get. So that is a bit behind, but it's still something. And it means that they're reserving Zen 4 and Zen 3 for their really higher end processors compared to the Mendocinos. Here was my favorite thing. Okay, so AMD Advantage is a AMD platform which can be comparable to Intel's Evo platform, but it is set for gamers. So it has certain specifications. If a laptop is going to be marketed as an AMD Advantage laptop, it has to meet certain specifications. It has to have certain FPS ratings in games. And so we've seen quite a few AMD Advantage laptops come out, but not a single one from Corsair. Corsair has not released a laptop, and that's what they did here at Computex. Corsair's first ever gaming laptop, Corsair's first venture into the laptop market. It is set to come with a high-end AMD CPU and get it's set to be slim and sleek. So hopefully this is, again, we're going to see the beginning and continuance of the slim end of gaming laptops. Slim end of laptops. I mean, we've always been trying to get everything thinner. I mean, obviously the iPhone 13 didn't really do that, but we've always been trying to get our laptops thinner, and this could be the start of getting that into the gaming side of things. So hopefully, this could start something. But Corsair's gaming laptop, it looks absolutely stunning. And hopefully it's set to have all AMD components, AMD CPU, AMD GPU, which will be really exciting as well. So hopefully we see those come out quite soon, because I'm so excited for them. And finally, we got a bit more information about the socket that they're going to be using. So if you didn't know, this is AMD is switching to LGA sockets, which is what Intel uses. So basically, with a LGA socket, the CPU's pins are on the motherboard instead of on the CPU. But in AMD's case, usually they use a PGA socket, which is where this pins are on the CPU and not the motherboard. So hopefully, this offers better performance efficiency. So this is their first venture into that for a while, and they're calling this socket AM5. So now the big thing about AM5, it's a 1718 pin LGA socket, and it is set to be compatible. The coolers are set to be compatible with the AM4 socket, which is what we've been using for Ryzen 3000, 5000, etc. And so that's going to be really cool, because as we saw with LGA 1700, which was Intel's 12th gen socket, cooler compatibility was a big thing. You couldn't grab your cooler from your old system and transfer it into your new 12th gen system. You would have to actually go out and buy another cooler, which was a big problem for some people. And so this is a great thing. I'm actually excited about that, because it means that we can grab our old AM4 coolers and chuck them into our new systems. So that's going to be really cool. That's going to be really good. AMD wasn't the only company that released at Computex this year, though, as always. And Nvidia did release quite a bit, but not on the gaming side. They released a lot on their presentation was mainly focused on data centers, AI, and that side of things. Not much on gaming, though we did see something really cool: an Nvidia G-Sync 500 Hertz monitor, 500 Hertz refresh rate. Seriously, we've seen 360 Hertz. That's the most I've seen. And then we're heading into a 500 Hertz monitor. I mean, AMD has to catch up if that's what we're talking about. Nvidia is really, they've always been ahead in the GPU market, and then I have not seen anything like that. I'm really, really hoping that it has great performance in other aspects as well, because, I mean, it's 500 Hertz, but what's its response time? Maybe it's 20 milliseconds. That's not what we want to see. But 500 Hertz, you'd hope that on a monitor like that, it's going to be pretty high spec on all your other aspects. We didn't see any releases from them on their Lovelace GPUs, which are set to come out later this year or early next year, which is the RTX 40 series. So we don't know anything else about that. I can't tell you anything else about that. What I can tell you is that they've said that DLSS and ray tracing is coming to quite a few more games, which is really exciting. One game is Hitman 3. Ray tracing is coming to that game, and we've seen a lot of people on the internet saying, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go out and buy that game now. I have to go try it," because ray tracing is a big feature. It makes your games look a lot better, and Nvidia has done a great job of it. Now it's time for the quick stuff, our news, and we've got quite a bit to talk about today on that. Microsoft is working on a Keystone dongle, that's their name, to turn any TV into an Xbox. So basically what they're doing is they are creating a dongle similar to an Amazon Fire Stick or something like that, and you plug it into your HDMI, and basically it will connect to Xbox Cloud Gaming Service, and you'll be able to game on your TV. Literally no Xbox, just a dongle. Obviously, you'll probably need a lot of money, but Microsoft said that they want to spread their Xbox Cloud Gaming Service to more people across the world, and hopefully this will help them do that. So game streaming is going to become a big thing, and I don't think it's stopping anytime soon. As much as people may like it, as much as people may hate it, it's here to stay for now. And so you'll be able to literally have something plugged into your TV, hidden behind your TV, that will make your TV also your gaming box. So there's no reason to leave your TV now, is there? In more Microsoft news, DuckDuckGo has received so much backlash because they have made a tracking deal with Microsoft. So DuckDuckGo, the so-called privacy search engine, has made a deal with Microsoft that they will not block trackers on their websites. So where's the privacy in that? Microsoft is one of the biggest trackers, online trackers in the world, and then the privacy browser that goes out and is like blocking all the trackers is like, no, we're gonna leave Microsoft, we're gonna let them track you because they gave us money. That is going completely against their ethos. That is going completely against everything that they've done. I agree that they should be receiving backlash. That is just, I'm so annoyed, because that is something that I should not do. If they are all about privacy, they should be sticking with privacy and not going off making deals saying, oh yeah, we'll let you guys track our users, just give us some money. No, that is horrendous. That's not DuckDuckGo. That's not right. Anyway, on other news, scalpers. In a recent report, it has been shown that scalpers have made $43.2 million in selling PS5s. $43.2 million in PS5s. That is a whole lot of PS5s. That is a whole lot of people buying PS5s off scalpers. That's a whole lot of desperate people buying PS5s off scalpers. But that's, great business to be in and become a scalper, people. And that's not official advice, but I mean, if you can make $43.2 million, I can't believe that. And just selling PlayStations. And that's just what they've made. That's just what they've seen. Who knows? You could be doing side deals. Selling PlayStation. There could be millions more. We have no idea. But $43 million at least, at the very least. That I'm very. That's a lot of money. In more PS5 news, there's been a PS5 Pro leak from a Polish news outlet called PPE. Not personal protective equipment. No. It shows that they reckon that the PS5 Pro, which is set to come out in either 2023 or 2024. Now, remember, this is all rumors, but they think that it will be running an AMD Radeon RX 7700 XT, and it could play games at 8K at up to 120 FPS. Now, if that's true, I'm going to go and buy a PS5 Pro as soon as it comes out. Those are awesome specs. But treat them with a pinch of salt, because I have no idea how true that could be. None of us do. But that, if that's true, that's quite a bit. And in just 1 year, I don't think we have that tech now. To see that happen in a year or even 2 years, that would be amazing. It'll show that gaming tech is really improving very quickly. But I don't know how many people will have 8K screens. I mean, by then maybe, but 120 FPS at 8K. Imagine how much you could get at 1080p or 1440p. That would be epic. Speaking of epic games, has made the BioShock trilogy, every single BioShock game, free on PC until the 2nd of June in a special offer. So if you're on PC, if you want to get the BioShock games, go out and go to Epic Games Store and buy them, because free, even if you don't play them, that's saving you a lot of money. And it is permanent to your account. It is a permanent purchase, which so that's gonna be only until June the 2nd. So watch out for that. Go ahead and be quick for that. That's all for today on the Random Access Show. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, make sure to share this show to all your friends, all your family. I had a really exciting time today. This was a great episode. I'm Leon Panopoulos, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Random Access Show.